It's your boy SF20, man. The economy been so crazy that people are living in their hotels, man. This is a video by Sandra Faye. Um, the economy is getting so crazy that people are living in their hotels now. Hotels became the new apartments. um, before I get into this, I also had lived in the hotel for like a week because something had happened with my at that time my current apartment that I had to actually just get a hotel for the week. Um I'm not gonna lie. The experience is is not it wasn't bad actually. I thought it would have been way worse when I first actually did it. I paid for like two rooms. Uh it wasn't only me, of course. I paid for a week. It came up to like 3K, 3K and change. Um they were always like trying to clean and everything like that. So there was always someone there to clean. If you are leaving and you grab your important stuffs, they could clean the room for you and basically it'll be good. And you always have that service around the clock basically. Uh there was nothing really wrong with actually living there. I feel like low key the hotels are becoming the new apartments, I guess. And I feel like I live right now, I live next to hotels, right? Like three. I see a lot of people, it seems like they're living in there. I'm not gonna lie. There's some people that comes and they look like they're not from that town. They're coming with suitcases and stuff. But there's other people that look like that's where they've been living for a good minute. So let's get into it.
Hotel apartments.
There are an enormous amount of people who are living in hotels. Entire families living in a room. They're buying full on groceries, living in a room. And the entire hotel looks like it is inhabited by families.
This is the hotel that I reserved from November 17th, 2025 till May 17th, 2026, which is a total of 6 months, and it's going to cost me $8,094.14.
A lot of people want to pay a security deposit, first and last month's rent. You need to do is hand them your money, check in, and you get your keys. You don't have to do a background check, credit check. You can get housekeeping every week if you choose to. You get to pay weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. You don't have to pay any utilities, Wi-Fi, trash, gas, electric, water, everything's included.
Right.
A lot of smaller cities, they're really cheaper.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cash App or buying your girl a coffee. Hey y'all, I just want to pop in here and have a conversation about how bad the economy is. Living in a hotel isn't something new. I don't want to make it seem like this is something that just started happening all of a sudden now. People have been doing this for a while. However, it's really ramped up, and honestly, I think that this is going to be a really good video if you are one of those people that are struggling to find a place to live. You have enough money to pay like a lower end rent, but the demand for 3 times the rent in your paycheck and all this other stuff, all these other stipulations.
Yeah, I remember when I had to get out my old apartment because that's what was going on. So basically, the building was sold. People had to leave. The new people didn't want to basically they wanted to redo everything like from scratch, kind of, right? So everybody had to leave. That was just it, right? Um, and I had to look for apartments, and it was just like every time it was like okay, yeah, but you have to make this amount, and it seems like you have to make so much. Like it was like it was to the point where you had to make a lot of money for like a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and it was like the way I felt was like, man, I know I could pay this bill. Like this is easy. I'm paying something similar to it, or I could just pay this money. There's no problem. It's just that the down payment, the security, and all that, and then you have to make 3 times the rent. I'm like, yo, that's it's just so much stuff you have to be. It either to like is first you have to think about the 3 times the rent you have to make. Then you have to think about the down payment. Then you have to think about the your credit score. It's like, bro, and everything had to be like top tier, or you most likely can't get like a, apartment on like in the block, like a neighbor, like your hood or something like that. Like that place could be like, I'm not gonna say ghetto, but it could be in like in the place where you feel like there's a lot of there's a lot of things going on. Like it could be violence, whatever the case may be. And even those places, you just like you gotta make a crazy amount of money, or at least you have those things you have to be or have in order to even get that apartment. So yeah, hotel, when you do it, as long as you pay, it seems like as long as you're able to pay, it doesn't matter, bro. You don't need none of that.
Regulations that come with trying to find an apartment, this might actually be something that you would want to look into, and it could potentially set you up to save a lot of money. So we're going to be talking about folks that are living in hotels. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Justin and I, we did consider this. If you guys didn't know, we are in the process of waiting for our house to be built. We were looking at different apartments for that in between time because we needed about 3.5 months of a place to stay, or else we're going to be homeless for about 3.5 months while we're waiting for our home to be built. I was looking at apartments, and y'all, they want to charge you outrageous amounts of money if you want to have a shorter lease. That blew my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing the different leases here. I'm like, okay, we could do $1,700 a month. We could do $1,800 a month. But the moment I put in how short of a stay we needed, boom, $3,500. The same apartment, but they want you to pay $3,500 because you want to stay there for a short amount of time. I was like, oh.
That's crazy. They're trying to get their money up. So the shorter, like if you want to stay there for a shorter time, it's more money. Shouldn't it be the opposite? Shouldn't it be the fact that I want to stay shorter time, I pay less money? Why am I paying more money if I want to do like 2 months? I'm paying like 4 months worth of rent. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, hell to the no. Absolutely not. Y'all got us messed up. I did, for a brief moment, consider, okay, maybe it'd be cheaper to go to one of these little extended stays and extend our stay. Now, luckily, we were able to stay with some family members, and that has been such a blessing. But for some people, they don't have that type of support system. For some people, they don't have like grandparents or great grandparents or parents that they can rely on, or brothers and sisters, all sorts of friends. Some people just don't have a support system that can back them up when they're in a predicament similar to what we're in, or worse situations. Some people have gotten real clever. Okay, they've gotten real clever, and they found some pretty decent apartment style hotels where you can have like damn near a full fridge, like a big old regular size fridge, maybe even a hot plate. Most likely you're not gonna have an oven, but I mean, if you have an air fryer, then you don't really need an oven. They have been making it work. I wanted to talk about this because the economy's gotten bad. and maybe you found yourself in a situation, you're trying to figure out something that you can do in the meantime, between time, till you figure things out. This could be a viable option for you. So this video is not me trying to dunk on people living in hotels. No, shout out to y'all because y'all found a real life hack.
This is the hotel that I reserved from November 17th, 2025 till May 17th, 2026, which is a total of 6 months, and it's going to cost me $8,094.14. No, I do not have to pay all that up front. I can either pay $307 a week or I can pay the $1228 a month. You can even pay every 2 weeks. It really is up to you. Your total amount is your total amount. I'm gonna take y'all inside my room.
Yeah, like I said, I had to do that myself, and it was chill. It was chill. Um, yeah, the way the economy is going and the way the jobs and everything is situating, I feel like this is the new, it. You feel me? I won't knock anybody who feel like they have to go and live in the hotel. I'm not gonna lie, it beats living in your car, and it beats living in shelter if you have the money to pay. Um, yeah, that's what I would say, because that week I'm going on a week because that's how long I had to stay. Um, but I would say it was just calm. It was just chill. Nobody gave us any, like, well, I paid up front, so it was, I knew it was a week that I was gonna stay, but nobody really gave us a certain look. Everything was just chill, and it low key seemed like we wasn't the only one doing it too at that time. 'Cause it seemed like there was other people around that time that was also like, I seen them when I'm coming in, I'll see them when I'm going out. I'm like, I keep seeing them because I would go to work and stuff like that. And around that time, I would work. I think I was working. I think like 3 jobs. I was working a lot, so I was able to pay for it, but I was also able to the reason why I got the 3 jobs, by the way, is because I was trying to move, and to do that, I needed a lot of money because I had to make a lot of money, and the money I was making at that time, I wasn't a lot at all. Um, so I just it wasn't, because anyway, the situation is long. It's just like something we didn't see coming, and I just had to figure it out with like a drop of a dime. But what I was trying to say is, like, it was a chill experience. It's definitely something I would prefer rather than being on the street or living in my car. That's that's just what I'm saying. But um to each their own, because my experience only lasts a week.
This is inside of our room, and what we get inside of here for that amount is say hey to hubby.
Yeah.
Also, we have the full-size refrigerator and freezer. It came with the microwave. It also came with the 2-eye stove burner here. We brought our own coffee pot and some extra items over here. It does come with a full-size bathroom, shower, pretty nice size. And of course, it's all about how you make it, but this is what we are doing. Pretty much so we can like save up money, get a piece of land, and actually start paying on something that's ours.
When I was younger, I always thought that hotels were just for vacation. I thought that hotels were just for a brief stay, maybe a work trip. Maybe you had to go out of town for work for a month, and then you would have the extended stay for that. But now, for a lot of Americans, it has become the only housing option that they qualify for. And this is the part that I really want to talk about. We all know the rent is astronomical. We already know that. But it's not just that the rent might be high. You also need excellent credit, rental history, oh my God, let me get to the application fees, income requirements, background checks, all sorts of stuff. I understand it because you want to keep out the riffraff, but this also affects those people that are genuinely trying to get their lives together and they want to be in a safe area and they have enough money to pay the rent. Okay, they have enough money to pay the rent, but they might not have 3 times the rent. Okay, maybe they have just 2. Or maybe, you know, they did have a rough time and their credit is a bit jacked up, but they're in the process of fixing it. It gets to a point where it's too much. It's too much. You're keeping out good, well-to-do people in an effort.
You know what I would say though? I do understand why there's so much that they want you to do and want you to be. Um, because like she said, you try to limit who can be in this room, right? So I understand why you don't want just anybody coming in. But I don't know. I feel like the 3 times the rent thing, especially that, is like, who are you looking for? You know what I'm saying? Most people right now probably don't even have 3 times that rent you're talking about. Especially because the rent, the rent itself will be high. Then you're looking for 3 times that? It's crazy. So I feel like they should come up with something that would either, like, I don't know, limit that somehow. But there are things that people could do if they are looking. There's grantors, but not a lot of places take grantors, right? I remember when I was looking, I had to straight up tell somebody like, "Look, I got the money," and I could. It sounded like I was trying to bribe her, basically, and I don't think she was messing with that. But that's not what I was trying to say, though. I was just trying to say, like, look, I got this amount of money. So, just in case y'all don't think that I could pay, I got this amount of money. But at the end of the day, I didn't get that apartment. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I feel like that 3 times the rent thing should not be a qualification. I get your credits and I do get the down payment. I feel like if they could pay that, it'll be good. But then again, we have like the squatter thing. So I do understand why they trying to limit and trying to not allow just anybody to be able to like get their apartments. So
Effort to keep out the riffraff.
A lot of complexes and landlords have made it so hard to get housing that people don't even know what the bare minimum requires without the bad credit, without the evictions, without the bad rental history. Not making 3 times the rent. You must make 3 times the rent. And a lot of people don't know how to truly calculate this before they go and spend their money on application fees, all that good stuff. The average person isn't even making over $24 an hour. But if you are making $24 an hour and working 80 hours, that's 160 hours in a month. Now, when you do the math on that gross income, you're making roughly $3,800 a month, which means you have to find an apartment with base rent that's about $1,200 or less. $1,200 base rent times 3 is going to put you at about $3,600, literally. And this is where they void out and deny a lot of you because you think you make 3 times the rent, but you really don't. By the time they tack on their fees and all of that good stuff that's built into the base rent sometimes, you've already been denied and wasted your money on an apartment that you can't get approved for. Right after that is if you make 3 times the rent, proven legitimate income. Most of the people today, I realize, don't actually have legit jobs. They just know how to make money. That's cool and all when you think about the fact of they'll get their money either way. When you look at the 2 important C's of credit, character and capacity, 2 different things. Your character is you wanting to pay them their money. You knowing that you have to pay where you lay. Right. The second C is capacity. Can you actually pay what you owe when it's time to pay? And a lot of times these people with these businesses and I sell products and I do this on the side, it's not guaranteed money. Without pay stubs, tax requirements, business docs, They don't believe you make legit income.
These application fees are ridiculous. When Justin and I were looking around for apartments we could stay in, I was also examining these damn application fees. $85. You mean to tell me you want me to give you $85 so you can tell me, nah, we don't want you staying here? Like, how much money are y'all pocketing off of application fees? Now, I understand that some of it goes towards, running the background check, but then they also have other fees, administrative fees, like fees that kick in before you're even accepted into the apartment, let alone the fees that they give you for moving in, even though they don't give you no damn help for moving in. They're not going to help you situate your furniture in your apartment. They're not going to help open the door for you, help you carry in all your boxes. No, but they want a move-in fee. They want a move-in fee. They want a fee for this, a fee for that, administrative fee, all these different fees. But that application fee is the one that pisses me off the most, because what you mean, you're going to take my money just so you can say, no, but we're going to keep the money that you gave us. It's a damn mess. So imagine you're going around and you're applying for multiple apartments. You might be out $500. Depending on how many apartments you've applied to, you might be out about $500 before you even find a place that's willing to accept you. So that is also an extreme burden on our pockets when it comes to trying to find a place to live. It's gate kept so much that you're keeping out good people. And yes, you might be able to keep out the riffraff too, but what about the folks that are actually trying, that have good intentions?
It's a nice community right here.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How can I help?
Good, good. Look, I'm just here to get a one-bedroom apartment.
Okay, okay.
If I had anything available.
Absolutely. How soon are you looking to move?
I'm looking to move next week, if possible.
Okay, next week. All right. Let's see what we got.
All right. Nice little plant right there.
All right. Is there anything specific you were looking for your apartment?
Yes. I mean, something slight. What are your prices?
Well, we starting at 1,800. Yeah, 470 square feet.
For a one bedroom?
No, that's just for the studio. The one bedrooms are 3,500.
Oh,
yeah.
And I know y'all think they're lying. I know y'all think they're lying. But I'm here to tell you, especially if you're living in New York, they are not lying. I've been looking through apartments for a while. For a while now. Now I still do. I kind of want to move still, but it's like it's not necessary. I have a place, so it's not necessary. It's just I wouldn't mind moving, but it's not like something I need to do right then. But I've been looking, and yeah, I might just stay for a little bit. Nah. But it does get that crazy, and it is like that for real. For like studio, even the studio, you can find a studio for like near $3,000. You can find them for, yeah. So like, especially a one bedroom, I've seen some that the one bedroom is about 3,000 and change. So you think that this is just all fun and games? If you're in New York, it's a high possibility, and it's not even in Manhattan, by the way. Those are like probably like 4,000, 5,000. I'm talking about in Brooklyn, in Queens. Like, yeah, they get that crazy for real. Trust me.
Yeah, and those are like 550 square feet.
Never mind.
Yeah, I can take you to go see one right now if you're interested. Want to go see one right now?
Y'all got one bedrooms going for $1,800?
The studio.
And the crazy thing about it is some of these hotels are actually way cheaper than the rent you would have been paying for an actual apartment. Now, granted, the space is much smaller. So maybe if we do like the cost per square footage, then yeah, it would be more expensive. But if you're able to squeeze yourself into that smaller space and make it work, I mean, you're saving money. At the end of the day, you might have smaller space to work with, but you're saving money. You might run into a hotel where they might want like $1,500 for an entire month, $1,700 for an entire month. But guess what you're not paying? You're also not paying the water bill. You're not paying the electric bill. And if they got complimentary breakfast on top of that, you're not paying for breakfast. It really does have its like checks and balances. Yes, if you are going to be living in a hotel, you got to work with a much smaller space. To be honest, if you found yourself in a situation where you can't get an apartment to rent, waiting for Section 8 is going to take forever and a day, you have no support system. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. Let's keep it a buck here. When you are in a bind, a hotel is still going to be better than having to live on your car or be on the side of the street. So yes, you might have to deal with having a much smaller space, but also you don't have to worry about paying water. You don't have to worry about paying electric. It's pretty relatively safe depending on where you're at. Yeah, let's be so for real here. You have to take what you can get when you're in these type of predicaments.
My family is living in a hotel, and by the end of this video, you either gonna love me or hate me, so stick around and hear my story. So last year, my husband lost his job. We had to use all of our savings to stay on top of bills, and we still ended up getting 2 months behind because it's so hard to find a job in this economy. So fast forward to the beginning of this year in February, we got our taxes back, and we went ahead and paid those past due bills. So me and my husband were talking one night, and we were like, why we stay in this dangerous ass city where we hear sirens every hour and our kids can't even play outside because they might get hit by a stray. On top of that, I was so depressed in that city for literal years, and one day I was just like, we don't have to stay here. This is just where we were placed. One thing about me, I'm smart enough to know that being broke, depressed, and staying in a dangerous city is a recipe for disaster, especially as a mom, because if I'm not good, my kids ain't good. So we packed up our kids and moved 11 hours away to a city that we've never been to, in a state that we've never been to. No real plan, just $500, a job lined up, and determination to do something about our situation. We stayed at a regular hotel for about a month, then moved into an extended stay hotel, which are set up like studio apartments with full kitchen.
We're a family of 4 living in a hotel full time, and I want to show you how that looks like, because I feel like people are going to be like, oh, you live in a hotel, but let me show you how we got it set up. I think you're going to love it. So first up, we have the bathroom, and it's a pretty spacious bathroom. Like, I can't touch the walls, bigger than the camper we live in, but this is the bathroom. It's really nice, comes with a hamper, love that. Since we are staying a long period of time, y'all are going to love this part of it. Look. We get a freaking kitchen. Look at this. I also brought my own pot because after I saw what that girl put her, you know what, in there and put it there. All you have to do, put your underwear where you would put the coffee grounds. You close it, you press brew, and it puts scorching hot water through it, and you got yourself a cleaner pair of underwear. We're gonna put that up. Yeah, we're not doing that. She made a whole.
Oh nah. But yeah, yeah. People are deciding to move. I know people that move from New York, but I don't think it was because of money though, as far as I know. Um, but yeah, even I thought of moving at times from New York, because New York is just that place that's just extremely expensive. It's just like there are places like in New York that you can find. It's just like it's getting harder and harder as the years go by. It seems like those apartments are ceasing to exist. The ones that's like 1,500 for like a bedroom or something like that. They getting lower and lower. Even now, even the apartment that I pay for is like it's a decent amount of money. So I understand why people would want to live in hotels or just leave New York. Um, Especially like places like Brooklyn, you hearing sirens and all of that shooting. And no, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And I had to pay a lot of What I would say about where I'm living now is it's pretty is alright. It's not it's alright. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like it's actually I actually like the neighborhood or the area a little bit. Um in a lot of ways. But it's like it's still, if all of those combined, boy, I'm out. I'm out.
Fort out of the chair. So this is a kitchen area, and it comes with chairs, and then she's in here. What are you doing? She made a fort. So this is the kids area. Also, there's a second bedroom, but I'm not going to show that because hubby's sleeping right now. But not bad for a family fort. We got a kitchen, we got a living room, we got a big bathroom, and I think this is going to be perfect.
The other thing that I want to mention is to get a hotel, you don't need no credit check. They don't need no application fee. You have never paid an application fee for a hotel. Well, at least maybe the real expensive ones, you have to do that. I don't know. The real expensive places, maybe you got to pay an application fee for that. But obviously, we're not talking about those places. If you are trying to get into a hotel, you don't have to worry about a credit check. You don't have to worry about having 2-3 times the monthly rates. They're not doing all that. It's whether you got the money or you don't. If you stay longer than 30 days, because some of these hotels, what they'll do is they'll try to kick you out or tell you need to switch rooms or, something like that, because they don't want you to technically be a resident there. I think it's like after 30 days, then you could say like, this is my home. And then they have to take off like the taxes. It's some crazy stuff like that. So with that, you might have to switch rooms every now and again, or
Yeah, I think the squatter rights is one of the reasons why they probably don't want to do that. I kind of don't get that either, because like, how you gonna tell me this is like? I mean, I get it if it's like a apartment building. Even in those cases, it's still like what? But yeah, in those cases, I get it. Like if you already live there, you already got your mail there. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta have to pay up. But in the hotel, it's kind of like what? That's kind of crazy.
move out the
Or in like somebody's like you have your own house and somebody just come in there and probably somehow able to live 30 days without you knowing. How am I not able to kick you out? It's kind of crazy.
room and move back in or something crazy like that. For the most part, you're not having to jump through all the hoops that you would for an actual apartment. These are the type of life hacks that, especially in today's economy, we really truly do need, because not everybody has the best credit history, and we could sit here and wag the finger and be like, well, you shoulda. Well, guess what? Some people didn't, and they're trying to figure it out and they're trying to make things better. And I don't personally see the benefit in wagging the finger at people that already know that they messed up. Like, what do you want people to do? Just sit there and wallow in the fact that they messed up? Or do you want them to put boots on the ground and actually figure out how to get to the next step? It's one thing if they did something stupid and then you're telling them about it and then they're still doing that same stupid thing. Yes, absolutely. We're going to shame you for being stupid. But those folks that they messed up their credit, but they're actively trying to fix it. They're actively trying to do right. I don't see the purpose in sitting over here and saying, well, you should have. I'm sure I could go back into your past, tell you all the things you shoulda, coulda, woulda, did. And you'd get annoyed and irritated with me doing that to you. So I don't see the value in doing that. For folks that are really trying to get their stuff together, this could be a viable option for you. It's something to consider. And that's the one thing that I do want to say about having a terrible economy, is that it really does bring out the creativity in folks. This is where innovation truly derives. It derives from a need and desperation. When you desperate and you're trying to figure something out, that's when a lot of innovation happens. We need to stop sleeping on the folks that have figured it out, have figured out ways to make things happen without scamming others. Obviously, I'm not talking about the scammers, the spin datters. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who want to do right, who follow the law, but they've also found some ways to get through while still respecting the law, but also get their stuff together and be creative about how they do it. But I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this whole situation? Have you ever considered living in a hotel? Have you lived in a hotel? If so, please sound off in the comment section and tell us the tea, okay? If you have some tricks, especially.
All right, man. That'll be it. But yeah, I'm not gonna knock down anybody who's living in a hotel. It's not. It's I understand. You feel me? And it's not even because I also did. It's also because the economy. This is like it's getting to that point that is like most people is going to be doing something that they have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one of those times when it's like certain people or certain things are getting expensive. It's like everything. It's like you want to eat something expensive. Like just now, I just bought like grapes. It was like $7. So what I'm trying to say is like it's getting to the point where there are going to be a lot of people living in hotels because it's just the cheaper and easier access. Like I can't get an apartment because my credit, or just because I'm not making three times the rent. Meanwhile, the rent is going higher and higher. It's like, you want me to make three times than $3,000 for a one bedroom? Nah, man, it's kind of crazy. But please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this video. Go to Sandra's face uh page, and like and comment. She have a lot of good videos. And although this is my first one, I've seen a couple of hers other than this one, and it's pretty good. Uh, that'll be all, man. See you in the next one.